and welcome to Inside Edition, where we discuss national, regional, and international issues in depth. Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones, danat, is a world-class gemological laboratory, education and research center specializing in the testing and study of natural pearls as a reflection of Bahrain's ancient pearling history and desire to protect and advance Bahrain's pearling heritage. To know more about its services and activities, we are pleased to welcome here at the studio the CEO of danat, Noura Jamshir, who is a certified rough diamond and polished diamond grader, having completed her training at the International Gemological Institute in Belgium and Gemological Institute of America, United States of America, respectively. She has also monitored and worked with various governments in developing the synergies to combat conflict diamonds and minerals.
The Bahrain Institute for Pearls and Gemstones, danat, was established in 2017 under the aegis of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, under the umbrella of the Mumtalakat Corporation. danat was launched as an independent company. danat's primary purpose is to develop and implement state-of-the-art techniques for assessing and certifying the pearls of the world. danat also assesses the quality of other gemstones. It is a process of constant research and ceaseless improvement. danat also dedicates itself to building awareness of Bahrain's highest quality natural pearls and their long, rich history. Cooperation with global industry players and participation in conferences and exhibitions worldwide lets danat broadcast the story of its goals and achievements. danat is committed to the education of the next generation of gemologists. The youth are recognized as the future of Bahrain's pearl and gemology industries. A school outreach program is underway. Young students are researching ways to extend the cycle of oyster utility as part of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. danat boasts a 95% Bahraini workforce. The company is also running educational programs in partnership with other global institutions.
Welcome back. Joining me here in the studio is the CEO of danat, Noura Jamshir. Thank you very much for being with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
Ms. Jamshir, first off, can you give us a brief idea about danat's establishment and the stages of development it went through?
Sure. danat was officially launched in 2017. However, the lab is not only a few years old. The lab actually was inaugurated in the late 1980s under the umbrella of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. And therefore, the lab has years and decades of experience in examining natural pearls or pearls in general. By far, I think danat is the #1 lab that certifies natural pearl. We look at everything, whether it's seed pearls or whether it's the biggest pearls ever found. So this is what differentiates danat from other labs in the world. And being close to the natural resource, to the waters of Bahrain, yes, we get to see volume. We get to see pearls that are so unique that no other lab probably gets to see. Amazing. So this is the advantage of being close to the natural resource.
Amazing. Well, danat has a main vision and mission, and it has certain values and standards that it puts for itself, and that's why the international recognition that it has. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. danat, just like I said, excels in pearl testing. We, as a new generation, do not understand natural pearls the way our grandparents understood. But 100 years ago, Bahrain, or the GCC, was the #1 exporter for natural pearls worldwide. 100 years ago, the royals and monarchs around the world sought natural pearls in their jewelry. It wasn't diamonds. Diamonds is a new product. Yeah. It was natural pearls that they sought. And I'm just going to give you some statistics. According to Cartier, 80% of the jewelry that they produced around the 1900s, 80% of it was based on natural pearls. Beautiful. The GCC and Bahrain accounted for around 75% of that. So this is how big as of a producer the GCC countries are. Now, there were a lot of factors thereafter, and this is why natural pearls are not seen internationally. But if you go to the auction houses in Geneva and in Europe, the best pieces that performed in an auction during the pandemic were those that had natural pearls. Yes. Because there's this quest. I mean, you can get 100-carat diamond. Yes, it's very hard, etc. But it's possible. But when you say that you have the biggest natural pearl, that's one of a kind.
Yes, definitely. Danat was or is always there when we have the Jewelry Arabia exhibition in Bahrain. And I remember during some of these exhibitions where we talked with pearl jewelers from Bahrain, when you talk to them about the history and how they accumulate these pearls, some of them, the pearls were collected from their great-grandfathers, and they have them in certain sizes, certain carats, how heavy they are, and all of them. Sometimes to make one necklace, it takes a lot of years, tens of years to do them. And that's interesting to have that kind of knowledge that is known here in Bahrain, but maybe not everywhere else in the world. What are the services that Danat provides specifically?
So Danat provides a couple of services. First of all, Danat is a gemological lab. So we provide gemological services to the public. And what that means, basically, if somebody has a piece of gemstone, basically, and they would like to know what it is, they would bring it to Danat, and we would identify it and see what group it belongs to, whether it's gemstone, diamonds, or pearls.
Right.
And the reason why this is quite important is because today there are not only natural gemstones. Today in the market, there are a lot of synthetic products, and what that means, it's chemically the same as the natural. However, it wasn't found in Mother Nature. It was made in a lab, and therefore the value is completely different. The third category, which is quite important for consumer confidence, are products that are natural but are enhanced in a laboratory or using certain techniques. For instance, in diamonds you have HPHT treatments, which are basically treatments under high pressure and high temperature to enhance the color of a diamond. Rubies or other gemstones are readily treated, again, to enhance their natural beauty. So it's quite important for a consumer to know their product, to know what they are acquiring, what they are investing in order so that years down the line they're not surprised by the investment that they made in that piece of jewelry. And confidence in the product is what helps an industry to grow, and this is why this is the reason why the biggest diamond mining companies around the world have understood that. And for instance, when the whole issue of blood diamond came up, it was companies such as De Beers which sought and lobbied with the lawmakers to ensure to come up, for instance, with the Kimberley process certification scheme to combat conflict diamonds. So this is why it's an industry, it's a luxury product, and consumer confidence is very important. And this is why the services of a gemological laboratory is the essence of that industry.
Absolutely. And when we look at the awareness that is spread in the jewelry sector in Bahrain specifically, because we live on the island and we see a lot of information on it, because there is a lot of awareness that Danat also provides. So can you tell us a little bit about Danat's contribution to spreading awareness about Bahrain's pearling heritage, as well as its current advanced status in this industry?
Sure. I'm going to say this actually is under the umbrella of the National Plan to Revive the Pearl Sector. So Danat was established as one of the initiatives of the National Plan to Revive the Pearl Sector, which was overlooked by His Highness, the Crown Prince of Bahrain. The National Plan to Revive the Pearl Sector consists of 5 objectives: preserving the natural pearls that we have, preserving the heritage, bringing back natural pearls to the international market, so increasing their availability for jewelry houses and around the world, And the fifth objective was actually to establish a gemological laboratory of an international status. And this is the role that we play here. So our role at the end of the day as danat is to spread the knowledge about natural pearls comes from that national plan, from the national plan to revive the pearl sector. You know, we have an excellent team at danat that is aware of this, of the objectives of the national plan, and we brainstorm on how to make consumers aware of the issues that they need to be aware in terms of pearls or in terms of gemstones.
Absolutely. Actually, the Pearl Path was a very big factor in this awareness that was spread the last few years with its revamping and introduction into the touristic industry. We see a lot of awareness when it comes to where Bahrain's pearls come from, what makes them unique, the irregularity in their shape, their color, collecting them. All of these information are things you can take with you in your knowledge about pearls. As part of its commitment to develop the local industry and human capital, danat actually offers a lot of training programs. And these training programs and courses have various aims. Can you tell us a little bit about them and their goals?
This is a very critical thing. And thank you for asking this question. The reason why this is very important is because the GCC region is the fifth largest consumer of jewelry worldwide. At one point of time, it was the third after the US market and after Japan. This is how big of an industry the jewelry industry is in the GCC region. Now, so far, we are consumers. We're not producers, basically. And this is why danat has an educational program to educate the new entrepreneurs that are coming in to be producers, so that we don't want to be, as a region, we don't only want to be consumers of jewelry. We want to be producers. We want to produce pieces of art. We want to create jobs. And this is why the programs that we offer at danat contribute towards that. It helps equips entrepreneurs to know the gemstones that they're buying and manufacturing in their jewelry. Again, goes back to the whole issue of consumer confidence. If I'm a jeweler and I know nothing about gemstone except that they're pretty and you know, and then I might be susceptible to deception. So I need to know what I'm buying in order to pass on that confidence to my consumers.
Absolutely, right. When it comes to these courses, can anybody actually attend them, or are they specifically for the merchant industry, for the people selling them?
We have programs for every segment of the market, all the way from high school students and accredited programs, whereby whoever actually, you know, we have hired or have on staff now every person that is an accredited gemologist in Bahrain. So we cater to all segments of the market, whether those who want to spend half a day knowing about a particular gemstone. So we have the day programs. We have the FGA program, which we are, and danat is actually the only center in the Middle East and North Africa region that offers the FGA program. And the FGA program is actually a 2-year diploma. And the person comes out of it, you know, basically, an accredited gemologist. And these are the type of credentials that we require for people working in the lab. It's accredited worldwide, and the beauty about it is not only will a person know about gemstones, the techniques and the skills that they learn from that program allows them to work in any field, not only in a lab, but as well in manufacturing houses, in designer houses. So it's multifaceted.
Amazing. Well, how does danat contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, the National Sustainable Development Goals for 2030?
Various ways. Danat is not only not only a believer in the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. Danat is also a member of international initiatives that cater to the Sustainable Development Goals, such as we're members of the Responsible Jewelry Council, which takes a leading efforts towards compliance with the SDGs. As danat, through our educational program, we again equip nationals with the skills to get educated. And again, gemstones and pearl diving is an untapped source of new jobs and new careers, and therefore anyone who has some spare time and is looking to enhance their income can study gemology and then can start a business in the jewelry sector. As well as danat, I'm proud to say that the majority of our workforce are females. So this is another way that we contribute. And of course, again, we have environmental programs to ensure that we are in compliance with the SDGs. Everything that we do goes in line with the mandate of the RJC, again, which takes up a leadership role in the SDGs.
Yeah. Something that you've already talked about, we'll get to it in a minute, but before I go to the Kimberley process, I want to ask you, what are the main local and international events in which danat basically takes place or takes part in?
Yeah. Jewelry Arabia is a very important event, and the reason why danat cares a lot about Jewelry Arabia is because it's one of the biggest shows in the in the region. And of course, we take pride in our participation, and our role is to cater to that market, to give confidence to the consumers that actually attend the show and who are buying basically jewelry. So I think this is why Jewelry Arabia is a very important show for us. We've also in 2021 participated in shows in Saudi Arabia, so we do participate in shows in the region. We've also participated in international shows in Italy, in Hong Kong, and again, this year, again, because of COVID, the shows, the show scene was disrupted, but we do tend to take part in all the major shows.
That's amazing. Still staying within the area of gemology, Bahrain itself has a lot of up and coming jewelers and new businesses and new jewelry artists, designers, everything. How does danat support these people here in Bahrain?
Through our educational program, through the lab services, a lot of the jewelers, some take actually courses at danat. So we have some of those amazing designers who have a jewelry shop, and they, we're fortunate they make time for us once a week to come and attend the FGA program.
Okay.
So that's one way, and of course, again, we do certification for a lot of the designers, especially when it comes to pearls, because with pearls, you're unable to detect the difference between a natural and between a cultured with the naked eye. You actually need the lab services. So everything I think that comes in, that the jeweler's design or in relation to natural pearls comes to danat for certification, and I believe this is how we contribute towards the industry.
Definitely. One of the processes that is used by danat is the Kimberley Process for Certification Scheme, the KPCS. What can you tell us about your participation in the development of the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme to combat conflict diamonds, and how did such a participation contribute positively to the role of danat generally?
Yeah. The Kimberley Process Certification Scheme was established and actually lobbied for by the diamond industry after the spread of the blood diamond issue. The Kimberley process is a voluntary system whereby countries become members of the KPC, and they ensure that they only trade with other countries that have that export diamonds with a Kimberley process certificate.
Yeah.
Danat Bahrain is not a member of the KPC. However, the only country in the region that is a member of the KPC is the United Arab Emirates, and I was fortunate to work on this program in Dubai, and today the UAE is a leading trading center for diamonds because of the KPC and the efforts that take part there.
Amazing. Well, Before we go to our last question, how does danat actually benefit from the new means of technology and social media in order to spread awareness? I mean, the courses and the programs are available, but social media does have a very active role, especially in our times now.
Absolutely. I think social media is the best distribution tool for us to reach our target market. And this is the reason why we rely on social media to spread awareness about our programs, to engage with our consumer base, and to get ideas on how to develop. To be at the forefront of innovation, we're not only relying only on social media. However, we're also using technology to develop our lab. So and to integrate the best instruments there are in the world in certification of jewelry. And this is why danat is probably one of the best labs equipped and has in-house instruments for pearl testing. So again, technology is at the essence of our growth and as an organization. And we use technology in the development of our lab services, but we also use, again, new digital marketing strategies and tools to spread awareness about gemological services, to spread awareness about the role that labs such as danat play in the industry. Again, there are lots of synthetic stones out there. And what breaks our heart the most is when someone comes in and they have this beautiful piece of jewelry and the center stone is a synthetic stone. So this is why we really urge and we really try to educate consumers about the importance of getting a certificate and making sure that the product matches the certificate. And at the end of the day, I always say, keep your receipts because your receipt is your guarantee that the product that you're buying is what it is. So make sure that all the details that you're being told is on that receipt. That's your protection.
Danat plays a very big role. We can't emphasize more on this in Jewelry Arabia, which is one of the biggest shows, as you've mentioned, in the region. To the extent Bahrain actually has a very deep-rooted security system when the jewelers come from all over the world and bring their jewelry, display it in Jewelry Arabia. Danat also has a big role in certifying a lot of the jewelry that goes out or is sold there. Can you tell us about that cooperation with international vendors such as De Beers, such as Chopard, all of these?
We're very delighted, and that speaks basically of the international status that danat has reached, in that we've actually hosted De Beers in the past to showcase their instruments. And again, the key here is, again, passing on consumer confidence in order for the industry to grow. We have an excellent relationship with all those that attend the show. They understand the importance of a gemological lab, and again, a lot of the pieces that we certify during the show are those that belong to the international traders, because the pieces that are with the Bahraini base already have a danat certificate. And again, it's really critical that consumers, and I think those that the educated consumers know that not to buy a piece unless it has a certificate or some sort of an opinion or an official opinion that the piece that they're buying is actually authentic. It is what it is. We don't say no to synthetics. We just simply say know what you're buying. And know the value of the item that you're buying. And this is the reason why we've had year after year an increase in demand in our services.
Amazing. Finally, before we end today's show, we want to know from you, what is danat's future plans, their upcoming projects, and how is it going to maintain its success?
I think that's maintaining success is a very challenging aspect, because today the world, again, of synthetics and counterfeit products, there are a lot of technologies out there, and they're being used to produce synthetic and counterfeit products. And this is why the reason why danat has a research and development arm And what we do is actually we test ourselves. We see if there's a counterfeit product. We always challenge ourselves and see, you know, if this product, can the lab actually detect it? So we have a blind testing program that we do in order to ensure that we are all, you know, we're on top of things. And it's always a challenge, you know, between the synthetic world or the counterfeit world, and between the, you know, the natural and the disclosed kind of
very close.
Very close competition. So we have to be at the forefront of things. We have to know what are the latest technologies. We have to know how they can be used in order to counterfeit a product. And it is a challenge. It is a challenge. It's an ongoing thing. But the way to counter that problem is by continuously investing in research, continuously investing into developing ourselves as gemologists in order to be able to better detect synthetics.
Yes, amazing. Are there any upcoming events that danat is planning for other than Jewelry Arabia at the end of the year?
Of course, we have a lot of things coming up. In 2022, we are going to be enhancing our services in relation to diamond jewelry testing, in addition to pearls and gemstones testing. The region is the number one, one of the biggest consumers of diamond jewelry, and we are enhancing our services. So we're building up teams in that regards. Hopefully, you'll see danat as well available in other markets. Because we know that we're no longer catering only to Bahrain, but we're catering as well to neighboring markets.
Sure.
These are the things that we're looking forward to. You'll hopefully see some more from the historical aspect. Some of the jewelry houses that were made because of the pearl trade will come in. We'll be hosting them in Bahrain, and they'll talk more about how the biggest jewelry houses such as Cartier, etc., were reliant on pearl testing, and there is a lot to learn there. It's a field by itself.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for explaining this to us and for talking to us about danat, and good luck to all the future plans you have.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. And we'd like to thank you, dear viewers, for watching us, and we'll see you next week in another episode of Inside Edition.